Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, I'm with level band. Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our GhanaTalks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Or you singer and now you rapper, you think say you get bars, you go fi spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our GhanaTalks Radio and you say then our day. Me say download the GhanaTalks Radio app no, our Play Store and the App Store. Na tune in and say this what you say baba live on Facebook, go Instagram, any GhanaTalks Radio page and so now listen. I bet you fire 1 year, Wading, Jajan.
Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. It's yet another beautiful Monday morning. Morning, lovely listeners. Good morning, Ghana. Good morning, lovely listeners of GhanaTalks Radio. It's yet another beautiful, brand new morning, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks breakfast show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. And this is a news headline review. Here we bring you all the latest news making waves from business to politics, from sports to entertainment, and everything in between. We got you covered with the most relevant stories. As usual, I remain your host, Esinam Fiagbedu. And joining me this morning on our news headline review is Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. Good morning, Miss Regina.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How's the weekend for you?
Good.
Good. We bless God for that. Yeah, so we have a couple of stories this morning we need to share our opinion with. So I'll move straight into the news headline. Ghana launches renewable energy projects for rural areas. The government of Ghana has launched a renewable energy project aimed at improving electricity access in some undeserved communities. The launch event took place in Lala, located in the Sani East district of Bono East region, marking the commencement of the Scaling Up Renewable Energy Program, which is set to bring clean and sustainable power to over 70,000 people. Speaking at the launch, Minister for Energy and Green Transition, John Jinapo, underscored the transformative potential of the initiative, particularly in rural communities. As a ministry, we are not just installing solar panels or building infrastructure. We are lighting up lives, empowering communities, and bridging the rural-urban energy divide, he stated. The SREP will involve the construction of 35 mini-grids and the installation of 1,450 solar home systems across the Bono East, Oti, and Savannah regions. Additionally, 12,000 net-metered rooftop solar PV systems will be deployed nationwide to support Ghana's green energy transition. Mr. Jinapo acknowledged the endurance of the people in off-grid areas who have awaited electricity for years. He encouraged community involvement in the building and maintenance of the new energy infrastructure, urging local leaders to take ownership of the project and contractors to hire local artisans. So this is it. Ghana launches renewable energy projects for rural areas. This has to do with some undeserved communities who are not fortunate enough to have electricity. So the government is sending across solar panels for them to have access to electricity. And when it happens like that, businesses will be boosted, employment will take place, and then schools who do not have electricity will also have access to electricity. Because probably we know in our schools, electricity is very important. In our ICT lab, we need electricity to teach children about technology. And in the community, probably people also, let me not use the word probably, it's actually it's a necessity to have electricity in these undeserved communities. So yeah, the government, launched it. I want to ask your opinion about it. What do you make of it?
All right. So the little I can say, I would say it's a very commendable and applaudable initiative by our administration. That is the NDC. I would say 50% of most rural areas still lack this should I say common commodity, because when you come to the urban areas, in as much as I would say not all urban areas still have access to electricity, because in Accra here, when you go to some parts of Accra, some people still do not have electricity. Some people still do not even know how ECG or how having light even looks like. They are still in should I say doom
darkness.
Doom area.
Doom,
this is not doom, so this is doom. Yeah, so I'll say it's a very great one because, as I said earlier, it's a common commodity one can't do without. And since it is now being introduced, it will make living for them very easy. Because I can imagine as a human living without light, no electricity. And if there's no electricity, obviously there's nothing like smartphone, there's nothing like how should I put it, television. There's nothing like solar, to make the living of life very simple and easy to access. So they taking the electricity initiative to these rural areas, it would really help.
But what do you think? Why have the government waited for so long to give these people electricity? Was it that there was not enough funding, or maybe they thought as much as if, let's say, they are used to it, so let's just leave them to endure it, because they've been living in electricity outage for quite a number of time now.
Okay, so I would say I don't really know the exact reason as to why the government would neglect, but we all know that the president just came into power just this year. So if you are to blame someone, this is not a blame game, but if you are to hold someone responsible and accountable for this kind of negligence, then it would be the past administration, because they have been in power for 8 years. 8 years and some days. They've been in power for 8 years and some days. So they are the best people to be held accountable for this negligence. We always say that as a president or as a government, you should have the people's interests at hand. You might think it's not your responsibility to provide light for these people. In as much as you might think it's not your responsibility, it also boils down to the assemblyman in that constituency. It's up to the assemblyman to make sure that he or she takes the plea of the people to the parliament or to parliament. And I believe in every constituency, both rural, both urban, both developed, both underdeveloped, we have people who represent those constituency in parliament. So in a way,
they are member of parliament, or they are representative.
It's also not doing what he or she is supposed to do to help them. So in a way, I wouldn't say the government per se. We are all should I say reasons as to why these people do not have lights. Because you've been nominated to represent the people. So you're an intermediary between these people and the government.
Right. That's fine. Yen partners Shatawale Sakshi to support drivers with fuel coupons. The Youth Employment Agency has announced a new arrangement with musician Shatawale and his Sakshi ride-hailing service to help create jobs for young Ghanaians in the transport sector. Under the agreement, the yen is to provide fuel support to the first 2,000 vehicles that join this Shagzi platform. Each of these vehicles will receive fuel coupons worth 500 Ghana cedis every month for 6 months. The scheme is intended to reduce the day-to-day running costs of commercial vehicles while encouraging young people to enter the transport business. In a Facebook post on Saturday, May 31st, 2025, the Chief Executive Officer of the Yen, Malik Basintali, said the initiative is one way to address unemployment among the youth through practical support. He said, this move is designed to ease the operational costs for drivers and encourage more youth participation in transport business. He also noted that Shagzi vehicles that operate around the clock would receive extra support. So Shagzi, which was launched by Shatawale in 2021, is a technology-based transport service created to give unemployed youth a chance to work and earn an income. The year's involvement is expected to help the service grow and reach more communities across the country. So, Youth Employment Agency has actually partnered with Shatawale's Shagzy ride-hailing service and is expected to give the first 2,000 Shagzy drivers 500 monthly fuel coupons for 6 whole months. I think that is a fala thing, like every young person should take advantage of. So the initiative aims to reduce costs for drivers and encourage youth employment in the transport sector. And the Shagzy drivers operating 24 hours to receive extra support. So apparently this is actually going to be part of the 24-hour economy. And the goal of this initiative is to tackle youth unemployment and expand Shagzy's presence across Ghana. Do you think that was a good call by the young president in the person of Malik Basintali?
Do we think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that was a good call? That was a good call. Looking at Shatawale's reputation and then everything.
What is his reputation?
You know how people are bashing him and how he speaks.
No.
Or you say we should separate it from his business.
Exactly.
Oh,
and
okay.
This is going to push a lot of youth into this driving, sector that has to do with I see it as another form of Uber, Yango, and that side. And it's a good call. And I might say that people who are into that will tell you that they make money. And you see, one of the things that deep down into their money, most of these drivers, one of the things they complain more about has to do with fuel. Because you have to buy more fuel, and it is very painful when you buy more fuel and then you don't get the money to replace that. So with Shatawale and then the Youth Employment Agency, the chief executive for the Youth Employment Agency collaborating together, not only giving opportunity to these youth or creating jobs for them, but also to give them 500 coupon of fuel for 6 months. You don't know how much it is. And imagine over 1,000 people are going to venture into that. Then it means you're going to pay times 5 or times 10 of that, and it is a good one. So I will urge the youth that if you have the edge of drive, if you know how to drive very well, and then you feel like you want to venture into that, abedane headache, this is an opportunity. You don't have to think twice. And see, this is not say I'm not a fan of Shatawale. You are making your money, not Shatawale and Assistant Boy Asembia. So long as it is a positive move for you to get your money, whether Shatawale is your enemy or at the end of the day the money is coming back to your pocket. And this is what we want our top celebrities should be doing. We know they are making it, but then you have fans, but extend, you get it. So what they are doing, Shatawale and then Malik Basintali, it's a good move.
It's a good move. Miss Gina, you didn't even let me finish. You wanted to bash me immediately.
It's a great. Mind-blowing.
Why? Is it because you're a fan of Shatawale?
No, this is not an issue.
Oh, I get it. Evangelist Wale.
Oh, no. This is not an issue of being a fan of Shatawale.
But you're looking at the positive.
Stone Boy, if Samini, if Sarkodia, if any of these musicians brought up this initiative, this is how we would have all welcomed it.
Right.
Because I'm a youth.
Yeah.
And I believe as a youth, you should be very happy if people out there, especially public figures and celebrities, have their youth at heart. You should be very happy. Because we would say that Shatawale has his own money. He already, he's already dusted.
Yeah.
So he can either say that, I don't even care what the youth goes through. But I'll say this young man is for the streets. And when someone is for the streets, obviously he's for the youth. He has the youth interest at heart. I saw this story on Friday and I showed it to Q and I was like, this is a very great move. You just register with 20 Ghana cedis on the app. You just register. And according to Shatawale, he is not taking any commission from you. He is not taking any commission from you. Just register. and start working. And now in partnership with the YEA boss, you are getting free 500 Ghana cedis coupon monthly for 6 months. So just imagine in the space of 6 months the kind of money you make.
Because you don't have to think about fuel.
Exactly. It's a very great move. And looking at the no commission of a thing, when you look at the other ride-hailing drivers, they pay commission.
Yeah,
for
they do.
Uber, Bolt, Yango, they pay commission. And I even believe that these rides are not even Ghana made. If I stand to be corrected, but to my best of knowledge, these are not made in Ghana rides. But for Shagzy, we know that Shagzy is something that was done by an individual who is a Ghanaian. I remember when Shatabale launched this Shagzy of a thing.
Yeah.
People bashed him. They even went as far as bringing a list of his businesses which have collapsed. You bring all they were saying online, you bring a business within a space of 2 months, 3 months, then the business is no more. And people were anticipating the downfall of Shagzy. But this is how God works in mysterious ways. And I believe that this is not possible without the help of the YEA boss, Basintali. Because a boss or a leader can see this and also choose to ignore. But you partner, you collaborate. That's what makes, should I say, the economy strives. Because we all bring our A game on. Then we move on. So it's a very great move.
Okay, so aside that, let's assess Malik Basintali so far, ever since he was given the appointment as the executive officer for the YEA. Let's assess him so far. What do you think of his term in office so far within these few months? You think he's capable of providing enough job for people or curbing the unemployment menace we have right here in Ghana?
So far, I mean, I think what he is doing is good. It has project a positive image about himself. Since he came into power, you could see that he not only is he determined to do the work, but then he was determined to even collaborate with the youth. Because I quite remember some time ago, I think in the Ashanti region, where he went to speak with some of the youth one-on-one. That was when some of the teachers were complaining that their monthly or the allowances that they were being given wasn't being paid to them. So I think he went on grounds and then he was talking to this youth like one-on-one, like as I'm a colleague there, may come here as a matreno, you see. And it was very nice. It's not only about, I would say, you creating or making sure that these youth get something to do, but the kind of relationship you have with them also counts. And he's been doing a great job. And I think he there was this initiative he also brought out where they've trained the youth something in the form of security personnel where they'll be assigned, especially to the foreign affairs part. It's like they are being trained like the way we have this community police. So that's how they are being trained, and they have their own uniform and their badge and everything on it. And I think it took in 2,000 plus of youth. So he's been doing a great job. Yeah.
You are satisfied with his work
I'm
so far?
satisfied, but there are still more to do.
There are still more to do. Miss Regina?
Yeah. Okay, so Malik Basintali, under his administration,
just this few months?
yes,
Okay.
from January 2025, we are in what?
June.
2025. So YEA secured nearly 3,200 vacancies through its job center platform. He brought a job creation initiative connecting job seekers with private companies. He emphasized that all recruitment processes are handled strictly by these companies and are entirely free of charge. He also launched 2 specialized job apps. One app targets artisans and skilled workers, facilitating connections with clients locally and internationally. And the other center app also designed to link job seekers with employees across industries right here in Ghana. And we were here where he also brought an initiative where he said that they'll bring a program up for you to travel outside Ghana, for you to have the skills, then maybe at a period or at a pace of either 2 years, 3 years, you come back to Ghana. So I would say that out of 100, I would give him 60%, because he's still doing good, and I believe he will still do well. There's still room for improvement. He still has other things he needs to improve on. So yeah.
I feel like Malik Basintali is actually the right person for the job, and one advantage he has is that he's a youth, and then he has experienced that before. So probably he has put himself in the shoes of this youth, like living in a country and then you don't have a job. How do you cope? So I feel like he's doing everything in his part to make sure that there are actually jobs available for this youth. And with the issue with partnering with Shagsy, it actually started with a mere comment on Twitter. And then he took the initiative so boldly and decided to take it one step forward. And then here we are. They're actually partners, and then they are going to create jobs for the youth through Shagsy. So if you know how to drive as a youth, I think you have to take advantage of this initiative and also find a job for yourself. Yeah, on money more than, but government is doing everything in their part to make sure that everyone have a share of job. I wouldn't say a national cake. Have a share of a job, because President John Dramani Mahama promised in his manifesto that he was going to make sure that he makes job available for the youth. And I think with Malik Basintali in the picture, he's doing everything in his part to make sure that job is indeed available for the youth. All right, so let's move on to our last news story. Mahama pledges 200,000 hectares to boost cocoa production. President John Dramani Mahama has announced a bold plan to expand Ghana's cocoa sector by adding 200,000 hectares of cocoa farms to the country's production capacity. The president, who is currently touring the Ahafo region as part of his national thank you tour, announced on Saturday, May 31st, emphasizing his government's commitment to reviving the once thriving cocoa industry. He stated, plans are underway to revamp the collapsed cocoa sector. Incentives will be provided to our hard-working farmers to increase cocoa production. We aim to add 200,000 hectares of cocoa to Ghana's output to increase the income of our farmers. He further disclosed that the chief executive of Cocoa Board, Randy Abe, had informed him that a new cocoa producer price will be announced in August, which he assured farmers would be a very good price. Ghana's cocoa sector has faced significant setbacks in recent years, including declining yields, smuggling, and pricing challenges. The president's renewed focus on cocoa is expected to not only restore confidence among farmers, but also help boost foreign exchange, earnings, and job creation in cocoa growing communities. So President John Dramani Mahama has pledged to add 200,000 hectares to boost cocoa production. And one thing he said that struck me, that plans are underway to revamp the collapsed cocoa sector. I want to ask, is our cocoa sector indeed collapsed? Looking at things so far, with farmers smuggling cocoa out of the country to other countries simply because, right here in this country, they're not giving the cocoa farmers a good price. Do you think due to that we can say that the cocoa sector has collapsed?
Yes, in a way. It has collapsed because first, Ghana was leading when it comes to cocoa production. Now Cote d'Ivoire is leading. And then I think yearly the country we earn about 2.4 billion from cocoa. And then some time ago, I think the government complained that even with that 2.4 billion that we earn yearly from cocoa, it's not enough. So you could see that in a way the cocoa sector has been collapsed because 90% of the farmers smuggle the cocoa out of the country because they believe that they are not getting
a good price.
Yeah, a good price. So just imagine cocoa takes about a whole year, and then after that the farmer has to go through a lot to ensure that the cocoa is produced. I mean, the bean is ready to be sold out, and then at the end of the day, what you get from it, it's something small, and it doesn't get anywhere. So they tend to sell it outside, and then trust me, when you smuggle it outside, you get times 10 of what they are paying you in the country. So with what the government is saying that the cocoa sector has collapsed, yes, in a way it has collapsed, and I'm very happy that 200 hectares, right? 200 hectares of land for cocoa production. Yeah, it is good, because if we are earning 2.4 billion yearly, and then the government is securing about 200 hectares of land for cocoa production, then I think we are going to make twice of what we earn yearly, and it's going to, I mean, push our economy further, because cocoa is one of the natural resources that generate more income for the country. So I feel like it's a good cause, and shortly speaking, like, it will help us with the 200 hectare of land for cocoa production to help us. And I'm very happy. I think in the course of the week I heard President Mahama saying that somewhere in August they are going to increase the price, the price for this farmer, and I'm just praying that
it comes to pass.
It's come to pass, and then it will hit the target that these farmers are looking up to. And then when it hits the target they are looking out to, it will boost the morale and the energy of these farmers to put in more. And I think it is going to push some of these youth that have interest in agriculture to also venture in, I mean, cocoa, and it has to do with the production of cocoa. And it is going to go a long way to help us as a country.
Ms. Eugenia, what do you make of President John Dramani Mahama's initiative to, add up 200,000 hectares to boost cocoa production?
All right, so it's a very great move. It's a very great move. Just yesterday, I saw in the news also, World Bank donated, I think, some seedlings of cocoa to some region. I'm quite mistaken. I've forgotten the region, and their move was to curb unemployment in that region, and for them, it's also a great move. So with President Mahama, 200,000 hectares. And that's a kid. Wow,
it's a big land.
Hey, 200 hectares and now 200,000 hectares.
200,000 hectares.
Hey, 10 hectares cannot be small. So just imagine 200,000 hectares, and just imagine cocoa being on it, and we are getting its fruits. Maybe let's say, because it will take a space of 2 years, 3 years. It will take a pace of 2 years, 3 years for it to start yielding fruits. So for let's put the 3 years aside. So when it starts yielding fruit, maybe 3 months every year. No, 3 months within a year. Every 3 months, you cultivate.
Look at the amount of money.
That is a lot of money, and they shouldn't only say that you are giving the cocoa the asase out. You are giving these farmers work to do, but at the end of the day, when they are cultivating this farm, this cocoa, would they get enough money? That is what we need to ask ourselves. Right. Will they get enough money? Because me, even though you've given me a sase and I finish with this thing and you're not giving me enough money for a bag of cocoa, I'll still smuggle it out of the country.
Right.
So you need to make sure that you bring working conditions that will favor the workers. It shouldn't only be about saying, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that. We know our president is a man who doesn't just talk, but please, this is an issue where, should I say, it has reached the maximum.
So how are we going to make sure that as a country, this land is actually utilized for its right purpose?
Oh, they utilize it.
We are in this country.
No, one aspect of, should I say, agriculture that people do not play with is farming. And when it comes to the cocoa sector, these farmers are really passionate when it comes to their job.
Yeah, but I know it's going to be for the farmers, but obi ne beda no and ensure that it goes to the farmers? Is it going into the hands of the right farmers, or is going to the hands of people who are not really, who do not really care about, planting these cocoa beans, but are interested in the money? Because trust me, the government, not only is he going to buy these 200,000 hectares of land, but he's going to pump money into buying the beans that will be planted.
Yeah, that will be planted.
Is there going to be a strict supervision
to
ensure that beans no more hot on? They will really plant it. Who is to ensure that? And even with that crown, is it 100% secure? Well, from where
let's be optimistic about it.
From what I said, I can't say no.
Yeah. But the president decided to, give out, I wouldn't say give out, pushing 200,000 hectares to boost cocoa production. I think it's a great move.
It's a great move.
We are just hoping that the lands are used for the right purposes, and then the revenue that we intend to gain is actually what we are going to gain.
But I'm sure before this cocoa will be ready, no, President Mahama will buying more.
But he's not doing it for his own interest.
I know he's not doing it
for
for
cocoa will be ready.
Yes.
Oh no. Now he's still in power, because it doesn't take 4 years for cocoa to grow. It takes approximately 2 years.
2 years or 1.5.
But whoever comes after Mahama has to eat some.
Yes, that is it. How we are going to sustain it and make sure that we don't end up in a situation like this again. That we are caught up in a situation where these farmers are still going to smuggle cocoa out of the country. So, the president has given these farmers assurance that by August, they are going to get a good price for cocoa production. We are just hoping that it comes to pass and it happens as he has said it. All right. Thank you so much for joining us on the news headline review. Up next, we have Debbie's Girl.
And welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear, and favor. Now, I think one of the major things this government has portrayed and has promised to do is to curb unemployment in this country. And then we know of, I would say, we've heard of about 2,000 plus or 1,000 plus of graduates that are still in the house and then are finding something to do, especially when it has to do with the nursing sector and then the teaching training. Now, President Mahama has come out earlier this morning and then announced that they are going to elevate nursing and midwifery college to degree awarding status. So President John Dramani Mahama has promised to upgrade selected nursing and midwifery colleges across Ghana into degree awarding institutions. The initiative is part of a wider strategy to enhance tertiary education and significantly improve healthcare delivery nationwide. So he made this during his thank you tour to Ahafo region. And you see, first we have the training colleges has to do with diploma, especially the teaching and then the nursing training. But of late, there have been some sort of changes. The training college, that's to do with the teaching training college, now offer degree. So you don't have to do diploma and then you continue to do degree in the university. The training college offers to do degree. And now President Mahama is saying that he wants to introduce same, not in the nursing where you go and read degree at the university like nursing, but in the training college where you can do diploma. He wants to introduce degree so that when you get into the nursing training, instead of you doing diploma, you do degree straightforward. Now, it is a good call, but let's look at this. We have about 100,000 unemployed graduates, that are nurses,
since 2020. They've graduated school since 2020. They have not been employed, and they are still in the house. Recently, the Midwifery Association came out, calling on the government for employment, because they've been in the house for almost a decade, more than a decade, and they are not being employed. And you see, it's very painful for you to go to school for 4 years, 7 years, pay school fees, and then after 4 years of graduating, you come back and then you become a liability to your parents, which means that that school fees, has been thrown away just like that. And there have been no source of benefits from the fees you've paid for that 4 years you've been in school, or for the fees you've paid for that 7 years you've been in school. Upgrading it and then introducing a degree level to the training college is not bad, but what steps are we putting in place to ensure that after these students graduate from school, they will be employed or they will get something to do? We can do everything we want to do when it has to do with education, but at the end of the day, what is the outcome? Because when you go to school for 4 years, 7 years, and after school you have nothing to do, automatically you become useless. And it means what you've went into the school to learn, it has come of no benefit. And trust me, when it has to do with nursing and doctors or doctrine, going to school to study to become a nurse or a doctor, these are fields where you need to be practicing each and every day. That's why from level 100 at the nursing school, immediately you vacate from school, you don't go home, you go and do your clinicals. You will do that till you complete, because those are the sectors that are very critical. They are very critical sectors, and you have to be well equipped so that when you get on grounds, you are not going to kill a lot of innocent people. So you have to know everything well, correctly, before you get on the grounds. Then after these 4 years, after paying school fees, and after doing your clinicals for 4 years and 7 years, you graduate from school, and then you become so useless. Since 2020, we still have people that are staying in the house. Each and every day they are calling on the government. And I know from 2020, we know who was in power. Yes, we understand. But please, since you are in government now, you are in power now, and you've also promised, and I know you are taking the right steps to ensure that unemployment in this country is being minimized, then please, when it has to do with the health sector, there should be something about it. Because sometimes you go to the hospital and they will tell you, especially sectors that has to do with specialization. We have people that specialize in treating the nose, the eyes, the ears, the dietitians. All those people, they specialize in a particular field in the health sector. Sometimes you get there and then you have to treat your eye, your ears, your nose. The dentist, you get and then they'll tell you that there is no dentist. We don't have any dentists in the hospital. But then we have dentist graduates staying in the house. They have nothing to do. They are not being employed. They've protested and protested, they are tired, and now they want to protest again. It's very sad, very, very sad. Not only in the dentist or the specializing fields, but even some general nursing. When you go, especially in the villages, the CHIPS compound and stuff, you get them there. There is no nurse around, there is no doctor around to take care of you. But then we have nurses around walking about. They've now shifted their focus into a different sector because they went to school to study, and then at the end of the day it has become useless. So please, in as much as you want to, you said you want to restructure, you want to reset the education system, and you are doing your possible best. But please, let's also ensure that immediately after school there should be some form of work for these nurses to do, because it's very, very painful to go to school for 4 years, to go to school for 7 years, And then at the end of the day, you come back home with an empty hand. And instead of you, doing something to support home, your parents are now supporting you after supporting you for 4 years in school. You've become another burden again. And I was happy when you said they want to do that so they'll get more nurses on board, and then other, regions in the country will have enough nurses, will have doctors to ensure that they give fair treatment to this patient. That is a very good one. But is there 100% surety that after school I will be employed? That is what we want to know, and that is what we want this current administration to focus on. I earlier once said that the government is actually doing their best. They are trying every possible means. But I would say the best is not yet enough. Especially when it has to do with graduates that are still walking about mercilessly, not knowing what to do with their life. Please, let's ensure that these nurses that have been in the house for since 2020, 2019, 2018, and they are still not employed, they should employ them. Because not only would they be a liability to the family, they'll be a liability to the society, and they'll be a liability to the country as a whole. Because if at the end of the day, that person should go on the streets to engage in, smuggling of drugs, then it's hitting back at the country. So please, Mr. President, this is another call. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Girl.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that, girl. Mr. President, we are calling on you. Youth unemployment has been a bit of a crisis to us as a country. And I think it's very frustrating that you finish university and then you have to be looking for a job. Like you sit in a house for like a whole year. And right now in our country, it's about who you know. Right now, it's not about your certificates and your skills anymore. It's about who you know. And I think we need to step up and then change this narrative. We have a lot of work to do as a country when it comes to this employment whole issue. So, Mr. President, put your leaders in place. Whoever that is supposed to see to it that this is actually being tackled, they should do that. And I think the youth of this country will be happy with you. All right, that's a few one I can also add to Debbie's girl. S-Nam's girl. Miss Regina, what do you have for us?
All right. So today in history, South Africa's second post-apartheid election. South Africa held its second general election since the end of apartheid. The African National Congress secured a decisive victory, leading to Thabo Mbeki succeeding Nelson Mandela as president. This decision or this election marked a significant step in South Africa's democratic consolidation. Leadership change in Cape Colony. Piotr Hakio succeeded Jacob as commander of the Cape Colony, a Dutch settlement in present-day South Africa. This transition was part of the early colonial administration under the Dutch East India Company. Birth of Intoko. Intoko Didiza, a prominent South African politician, born on this day 1965, she has held various ministerial positions, including Minister of Agriculture and Land Affairs, and has been influential in shaping South Africa's agricultural policies. Harriet Tubmans. Harriet Tubman led the Combahee River raid during the American Civil War, liberating over 700 enslaved people in South Carolina. While this event occurred in the United States, it resonates globally as a significant act of resistance against slavery. Looking at some few observances for today. Today is International Sex Workers Day or International Whore Day. It is observed annually on June 2nd every year. It honors sex workers and recognizes their often exploited working conditions. The event commemorates the occupation of Église Saint Nizer in Lyon by more than 100 sex workers on June 2nd, 1975, to draw attention to their own inhuman working conditions. It has been celebrated annually since 1976. Today also serves as, or is observed as, National Rotisserie Chicken Day. So National Rotisserie Chicken Day is a delectable celebration that honors the succulent and flavorful dish loved by many. This special day observed on this day pays homage to the beloved rotisserie chicken, a versatile and mouth-watering culinary delight. To our last observance for today, National Rocky Road Day. National Rocky Road Day celebrates the combination of chocolate ice cream, marshmallows, and nuts all in one. Whether you like Rocky Road ice cream in a bowl, or on a cone, or straight out of the container, we know this delicious food holiday is going to be a big celebration. And that's all for today. Today in history and observances on that day.
All right, thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for that. I wouldn't say fascinating facts, because today you didn't let us know any. Did you know? Me, I was eager to hear. Did you know?
So
today
did you know
that's
on every June 2nd, prostitutes observe their day?
Why should they do that?
Why should they do that?
Okay? That one, no.
They are humans.
They are Oh yeah. I don't disregard the fact that they are not humans. They are humans, but
so wait,
we are against it. Are you not?
No, I'm not sure.
Where you go to graduate to be a sex worker?
Oh my God.
Celebrating their day, then it means they are being recognized by the world.
Yeah,
yes.
they are.
And they are contributing.
Since 1976.
They are contributing.
Wow.
To the development of the country.
So they actually have a day. We celebrate with all workers.
Yeah.
So probably. So this is International Sex Workers Day. Wow.
We
Nice
pray
one.
for more strength for them.
Hey.
More energy.
And that's somebody's job. No. So, let's
but
not.
It's no good though.
All right, let's not go too much into it before they come for us. Yeah, so have you heard? So OSP has warned Oforiatta that if you don't report by June 2nd, today is what?
June 2nd.
You face Interpol red notice.
They said he is sick. Oforiatta is sick.
Oforiatta is sick.
From the statements released.
Was it the one we read some time back?
No, this is a new one.
So he's not well done.
No, you won't turn it.
No,
Hey.
Hey.
When he died right now, they hold you responsible.
They say no. They say if he dies, they are going to, come for his dead body.
Oh yeah, they can imprison the dead body. They do it in other countries. Yes, they do. Especially with the military people. When you do something that is they imprison your
But
body.
why is he resistant questioning? Why do you think he's resistant questioning?
I feel like he is fine, but he's just using the sickness as a care of.
He has also ordered that if you want to question me, why don't you do it virtually?
No, yeah, in fact, baby, I do know. It's not their time. I went send on open.
Oh, Oforiatta. Just come and answer the question and
we
go
wish him a
back.
speedily recovery. It's up
Oh,
to the
the
OSP.
speedy recovery then. We've all been praying that God.
It's up to the OSP. Now we are, looking up to him for the next.
Yeah, today is June.
Today is June.
So we are waiting for end of day.
June.
And let's see what will happen.
Oforiatta
If
is saying they
indeed
should postpone it to 18th June.
Oforiatta himself. 18 June, they say higher.
What?
But he's ordering for virtual interview. Do you think that is possible? Can he be granted that? Looking at the allegations so far.
I'm not sure it's possible. I'm not sure they are going to do as he wishes. But as the OSP wishes, that's what they will do.
That's what they will do. Miss Regina. Ken Oforiatta, your grandfather.
Who's grandfather?
Oh, don't do that. He said he's sick.
I'm not related to him in any way.
But assuming he was your grandfather.
If you,
Atta. Regina Atta.
I'm not me. I'm not.
Oforiatta.
When did I become
Oforiatta? They say he's sick and he's still sick. And there have been some comments that even if he's sick and he dies, they'll come for his dead body.
Yeah. I think the OSP said it, that even if he's dead, they will still arrest his dead
The
body.
OSP said that. I thought it was just comments on social media.
No,
They will
he
arrest
said
your
it.
dead. Yeah,
The
yo.
OSP
They will
said
arrest
it.
your dead body.
Oh,
They will
but how the
prison
dead
it.
body suffer for the sins he has committed?
It's not as if they won't give it back to their relatives, but you pass through a lot before getting the body to bury.
Because obviously, Odishie, and you want to bury him in a right way. Don't tell us what you don't know.
All right, that was for producer, by the way. All right, this is where we draw the curtains for the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Right after this, we'll be going for the news, and after the news, we'll be coming up with the second segment. Please stick around.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
And welcome to the morning news broadcast on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Oforiatta 6 virtual session with Office of the Special Prosecutor amid alleged medical complications. President Mahama shows cocoa farmers a favorable price. Domahine criticized minorities' Yoko protest over Wuntumi's detention. Ghana Registered Nurses and Association has voiced out their grievances to the government. Youth group raises concern over judiciary anti-corruption drive. These and many more coming up shortly in business, sports, and showbiz. Do stay with us. Former Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta will not appear before the Office of the Special Prosecutor on Monday, June 2nd, as earlier scheduled due to unexpected deterioration in his health. Sources close to him have confirmed. His legal team has formally communicated the development to the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Human Rights Court, submitting medical report that detailed his current condition and outlined scheduled surgical procedures. This comes amid heightened speculation over whether the Special Prosecutor, Kisine Jabin, will proceed to redeclare Mr. Oforiatta as wanted if he fails to honor the appointment on Monday, June 2nd. A statement issued earlier by the Office of the Special Prosecutor suggested that such a move is imminent. Mr. Oforiatta has an ongoing legal battle at the Human Rights Court challenging his earlier designation as a wanted person. The case is set for ruling on June 18, 2025. In a post on its official X account, the Office of the Special Prosecutor acknowledged the ongoing court process. Mr. Oforiatta is also asking the court to order the Office of the Special Prosecutor to remove previous declaration from its social media platforms. His motion was moved by his legal team and is being contested by the OSP. The court will deliver its ruling on the matter on 18 June 2025. Meanwhile, sources says Mr. Oforiatta has offered to participate in the OSP's investigation virtually in line with provisions under the Electronics Transaction Act. This would allow the OSP to obtain a caution statement from him remotely whilst he undergoes treatment. However, the Office of the Special Prosecutor is yet to issue any fresh official communication on how it intends to proceed. Moving on, President John Dramani Mahama has assured cocoa farmers that the new producer price for cocoa will be announced in August. This assurance aims to boost the morale of cocoa farmers ahead of the new season. President Mahama made this revelation whilst addressing concerns about pricing and profitability. He guaranteed the price will be favorable to farmers.
Plans are underway to revamp the collapsed cocoa sector. Incentives will be provided to our hard-working farmers to increase cocoa production. We aim to add 200,000 hectares of cocoa to Ghana's outputs in order to increase income of our farmers. And to cocoa farmers, the Cocoa Board Chief Executive has informed me that in August they will announce the new cocoa producer price. And I can assure you the price is going to be a very, very, very good price. Those of you who don't have cocoa farms, go and start looking for land and start planting.
Moving on, Domahini Nana Fridua Ajimaimbedu II has publicly disclosed his disapproval of the minorities' protest at the Economic and Organized Crime Office, Yoko, over the detention of Chairman Wuntumi. The Domahini urged the minority to step aside, whilst emphasizing the significance of respecting legal process. By urging the minority to allow the law proceed without interference, the Domahini is advocating for due process and the rule of law. He also underscored the need for political leaders and stakeholders to respect the independence of the judiciary and enforcement agencies.
Minority leader, lawyer, honorable.
The Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association in the Ashanti region has rejected claims by the Ministry of Health to call off its strike from June 2nd. The regional chairman, John Afiye Ato, questioned the relevance of the committee on an already established agreement. He made this revelation while speaking at the 2025 Nurses Week celebration at Kumasi. Mr. Free insists enough consideration has been given to the government to effect the implementation, hence the association resolution to strike. The Youth Group Association has accused Ghana's judiciary of weakening the country's fight against corruption. At a press briefing in Accra, the executive director of the Alliance and a member of the Youth Integrity Board and the UN Office of Drugs and Crime, Bright Ofori, pointed to the judiciary's role in the disappointing outcomes major corruption cases.
What what we are talking about is not negotiation. What we are talking about is signed, sealed, delivered condition of service. That was signed May 2024, exactly a year today. It is 1 year old condition of service we are talking about, which government came, we started engaging government in January 2025. We've done those engagements for quite about 5 months. And according to the same ministry in the same release, they said we have met them for 5 times. And it is true. So, signed, delivered condition of service. What are we meeting over? Especially so, all health unions in health that have those conditions of service. We have done it. They have paid all of them, except nurses. So if you are on the same equivalent rank, what we call relativity, for instance, if I'm NO, you are a dietitian, we are supposed to be on relative salary. And now the dietitian is gone higher than the nursing officer because the GRNMA bargaining certificate, that condition of service that was negotiated, is not being implemented. What all others have theirs implemented. So implement it straight away. Signed, delivered condition of service is signed. We are not negotiating. If we are negotiating, that is different. That is why you can come that what we were about agreeing with the old government, you didn't like it, and so let's negotiate again. This is signed. Plan is on. The only thing that can stop the plan is government writing to start implementation. You understand? As soon as they write to start implementation, if you look at the generous roadmap we gave, you should know our intention. But our intention really is not for the strike to happen. We don't like that. We are patient ourselves, and so we don't want to go on strike. That is why if you see this long loop we've given government, it's just so that government will be able to.
They also demand swift trials, stronger outcomes, and the same level of agencies that supply to political and election-related cases. The youth-led group hopeful that the country's judicial system can be strengthened to perpetrators of corruption accountable. They believe with the right reforms, the court can play a divisive role in restoring public trust in delivering real justice. To other stories, President Mahama has announced the upcoming launch of Ghana Labour Exports Program aimed at expanding job opportunities for Ghana's youth by facilitating international employment. The program seeks to address unemployment by offering young Ghanaians the chance to work abroad. The program is to target agriculture, construction, healthcare and other hospitality workers. The recruitment process is designed to be transparent and inclusive from all 16 regions of Ghana. The Ghana Labour Exports Program forms part of the government's broader strategy to create sustainable employment through international partnerships.
Pursued by Ghana's Office of the Special Prosecutor, Attorney General's Office and others that have faced significant delays, legal setbacks, or have discontinued, highlighting challenges within the judicial system. This must change. We call on the Acting Chief Justice and the Judicial Council to look in the mirror and ask tough questions. Why are corruption trials so slow? Why are outcomes so poor? We are not saying that everyone should be jailed without evidence or fair trial. Corruption must be treated with the same agency as election petitions and cases brought before them by politicians.
The youth-led group.
President Mahama has announced the upcoming launch of Ghana Labour Exports Program aimed at expanding job opportunities for Ghana's youth by facilitating international employment.
We will soon launch a Ghana Labour Export Program. There are labour shortages in many countries across the world. We are negotiating with several of those countries to export some of our professionals to work on fixed-term contracts abroad. This will include agricultural workers, construction workers, electricians, welders, mechanics, health workers, chefs and caterers, drivers, machine operators, warehouse supervisors, among others. A contract has already been signed with one country for the export of 2,000 temporary workers. Young qualified people will be selected fairly from all the 16 regions of our country, including Ahafo.
In business, fuel prices are projected to fall between 5% and 9% in the first pricing window of June, offering relief to consumers amid persistent inflationary pressure. The forecast released by the African Sustainable Energy Center attributes the expected drop largely to the recent appreciation of the Ghanaian cedi against the US dollars. According to African Sustainable Energy Center's latest market assessment, petrol is expected to retail between 12 cedis and 12.60 per litre, whilst diesel could sell for between 12.60 to 13.20 per litre during the upcoming pricing window. Ghana's fuel pricing mechanism is adjusted weekly and reflects changes in global oil prices, exchange rate, and import costs. Whilst global crude oil prices have dipped from about 85% barrel in January to roughly 64 currently, the cedi strengthening has had a more immediate impact on local pump prices. This is because petroleum imports are dollar denominated. A stronger cedi means lower procurement costs from oil marketing companies. The anticipated reduction is expected to ease transportation costs and overall inflation, offering short-term respite for households and businesses. However, African Sustainable Energy Center cautioned that falling oil prices could put pressure on government revenue. As a net exporter of crude oil, Ghana relies heavily on international oil prices to support foreign exchange inflows and budgetary funding, with Brent crude now down more than 24% since the start of the year. The government risks earning less from petroleum-related exports. Unless these declines are purely exchange rate driven, lower global prices typically result in reduced state revenue. The government may need to revamp up production volumes to offset shortfall, ASEC noted. Looking ahead, a think tank projects that global crude oil prices could remain in 62 to 65 per barrel range, driven by higher outcome from OPEC plus producers and softening demand from major companies like the US and China. African Sustainable Energy Center said it will continue monitoring market trends and provide evidence-based insight to guide policy. It also urged the government to balance consumer relief with long-term strategies for energy security and fiscal resilience. Fuel prices remain critical economic indicator in Ghana, influencing inflation, cost of living, and industrial activity. Whilst the expected drop in pump prices may be temporary, it signals a positive turn in economic sentiment as the country navigates its recovery path. Still in business news, Blochem Industries Limited, producers of Bell beverages, has announced a reduction in prices across its beverage product range, citing improved macroeconomic conditions driven by the recent appreciation of the Ghana cedi. This price reduction takes effect on Sunday, June 1st, 2025. The move comes at a time where government officials have been urging traders and manufacturers to pass on the benefits of a stronger local currency to consumers, a call that Blochem has responded to. In a circular to its customers, the company noted that the decision aligns with its commitment to fairness and transparency, emphasizing the favorable forex trends have created a room to ease prices. Blochem also encouraged distributors, wholesalers and retail partners to reflect these prices reductions in their margins, ensuring end consumers enjoy the full benefit of the improved economic outlook. And sports, 2 people have been confirmed dead with over 100 arrested across France after Paris Saint-Germain fans celebrated the club's victory in the Champions League final, according to the French Interior Ministry. In the southwest town of Dax, a 70-year-old boy died after being stabbed in the chest late on Sunday evening, local media reported. Now, floors and fireworks were set off, bus shelters smashed, and vehicles touched amid world celebration as Paris Saint-Germain won the biggest prize in European club football for the first time in their history. Paris Saint-Germain condemned the violence in a statement, adding that these isolated acts are contrary to the club's values and in no way represent the vast majority of their supporters. Paris Saint-Germain supporters celebrate after the wins at the UEFA Champions League final. French President Emmanuel Macron said the clashes were unacceptable and justifiable, that those involved will be found and punished. France's Interior Minister said 192 people were injured in the clashes in the early hours of Sunday and 559 people arrested, including 491 in Paris. Clashes break out between police and fans as supporters celebrate following Paris Saint-Germain defeat to Inter Milan 5-0. 22 police officers and 7 firefighters were injured, the ministry said, adding that 264 vehicles were set on fire. One of the officers was injured by a firework amidst the chaos and had to be put in an induced coma. In showbiz, following her release from prison, Ghanaian singer and socialite Mona Faze Montrage, known online as Hajia For Real, has announced a comeback with a new song titled We Move. This release is her first public appearance since she returned to Ghana after serving a year in prison in the United States. The music video of her new song was published on her social media channels, sending a message of her comeback. The first scene of the music video begins with a dramatic scene of Hajia For Real in a prison cell, a clear indication of acknowledgement of her legal past. The song continues with a lyric, "If I fall, I will rise," a theme which encapsulates the notion of resiliency and new beginnings. Her new single, We Move, conveys tenacity and a determination to keep moving in spite of obstacles in life. It represents a fresh chapter in Hajia For Real's life and a determination to not let her past dictate her present or future. The public figure, known for her substantial Instagram following, was extradited from the United Kingdom to the United States in May 2023. Hajia For Real's incarceration stemmed from her involvement with a West African-based criminal enterprise that engaged in romance scams and internet fraud, defrauding vulnerable older Americans of $2 million. Prosecutors revealed that she personally received funds from approximately 40 victims deposited into US-based accounts under false pretense, including elaborate schemes involving fake gold transport payments and fictitious FBI investigations. She subsequently pleaded guilty in February 2024 and was formally sentenced on June 28, 2024 by U.S. District Judge J. Paul. In addition to her prison term, Hajia For Real was sentenced to 3 years of supervised release and ordered to forfeit $260,475 whilst paying restitution of $1,387,458. And that's how we end it on the morning news broadcast. Don't forget to log on to all social media platforms at GhanaTalksRadio.com for more detailed information. My name is Deborah Adoso. Do have a good morning.
Hello Ghana, hello worldwide, na musi level band. Code Now listen, every Tuesday and Friday, beyond the time it's going to carry bro. Our Ghana Talks Radio, 7 p.m. sharp. Now Tuesday, we're gonna talk about our culture, our history. Matuni ding setete abako sem. Now on the Friday, you bars on bars. You better rap, you better say it. No artists go join me in the studio. We're gonna discuss about music and business. Konya, or you singer, and now you rapper, you think say you get bars. You go be spit fire. Now listen, make you join me with studios. Our Ghana Talks Radio, and you say then our day. Me say download the Ghana Talks Radio app, no, our Play Store, any App Store. Not tune in, and say this is what you see. Baba live on Facebook, Cointakra, any Ghana Talks Radio page. And so now listen, about your fire. 1 year, Konya, Wading, Jajan.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal.
Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio. A beautiful good morning to you. It's a new month, it's a new week, it's a new day, and we are in here with some new energy. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Pakwesi Omare. I welcome you to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show on Ghana Talks Radio. Every morning, Monday to Friday, you are in tune with us on the show, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m., where we bring you delightful discussions on issues relating to some social concerns in the capital of Africa. And I see Ghana is capital of Africa. Say any capital of Africa. And Burkina Faso. Anyways, you can join the conversation on all our social media platforms at Ghana Talks Radio, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, and on X. You can also follow us on our website www.GhanaTalksRadio.com. Also, our WhatsApp line is 0202 544 614 0202 544 614. Our guest will join us for the conversation very soon in the studios. But before then, let's get into the just by the ways. Esi.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Not bad myself.
Good to hear.
It's 2nd June.
Yeah, 2nd June.
The date that the date that was set for Riata to appear. Is he in?
No, he's not.
This man is toiling with the OSP and the entire nation.
He's not in.
Why?
According to reports, he said he's sick.
Again?
Yeah, he's still sick. He's not well.
I learned he has requested for a visual.
Yeah, virtual.
Virtual.
Yeah.
There's a saying that a beggar with a choice. Or you think it's within his, constitutional rights to be exploring all these privileges that he wants to be granted to him?
I don't really know much about that, but I don't think it works like that. I've not come across anything of that sort. You call in someone for investigation and the person orders for a virtual investigation. I haven't seen anything of that sort before. So I'm quite surprised that Ken Ofori-Atta is actually requesting for that.
So if the OSP decides that, okay, for the investigation we need to arrest you, how do they arrest him on the virtual
You
scene?
get it.
The man is acting so smart. But I mean, what do you think the OSP? Do you think the OSP has been too lenient on him?
I feel that OSP has been too lenient for the fact that you ordered someone wanted and then you took it off again.
Yeah.
I think you should have just been there. If that is going to ginger him to come all the way to Ghana in spite of his conditions, come and answer the questions, then that should have been the case.
Were you in Ghana when the NPP decided to pass the e-levy bill?
Yeah, I was here in Ghana.
Okay. You remember there were two MPs who weren't available then. One was sick in the hospital. The other was out of the country.
That was Ajasafo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they actually had to charter a plane for her to come and vote on the bill.
I see.
And the other one was carried in an ambulance to come to Parliament to vote to pass the bill, even though he was sick. If all these things have went on some not so long years back, what is stopping them from either chartering a medical plane to carry Ofori-Atta to Ghana to answer for his D's?
Well, I can't see to that. It's very surprising that after this whole month, like the OSP hasn't done anything. In as much as he gave him time to return,
he should have done some. He should have put in place some contingency plans.
Yeah, like a plan B.
Yeah.
So if the person doesn't appear on the set date that you've given to that person, one next.
Yeah. Now you are now going to figure out how to extradite him back to Ghana. Why didn't you put all those things in place? Like pending? Because this man has evaded his appearance on numerous occasions ever since you invited him. So as an investigative body, you should have known per experience, per psychological intelligence, that he could do something like this again. So what is the next thing we do if it happens again?
If it happens again, if he doesn't appear on the set date you've given to him.
But if this man is also innocent, why is he
feeling so reluctant
to appear for questioning?
That alone should raise an eyebrow. That's probably he has a hand in it, or allegedly, as they said it.
But so far, with this whole oral thing, how they are going about it and what they are doing about some of these things, do you think it's in the right motion?
It's in the right motion, but I'm not satisfied enough for the fact that you uncover the crimes these people have actually committed, and then they don't do anything about it. We hear they are going to courts, and then at the latter part, we just leave the issue there like
that. Some of the accused has opted for a plea bargain. You know what a plea bargain is?
No.
Okay, so the plea bargain is more of, let's say we are collaborating with you to give you information as to the investigations going on, so that you also reduce our sentence or our punishment.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that's a plea bargain. So that's why most of them are yet to be, charged and prosecuted. Okay, they've been charged, but their prosecution has taken long because they are working hand in hand with the state investigation.
So, as in they are going to help and uncover other corporates or something.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are trying to do.
All right.
So, in most of the cases, even in the case of illegal mining with Akonta, one of the charged accused persons has opted for a plea bargain, saying he will come clean, he will mention names of whoever is involved,
so that his prosecution will be reduced. I see.
But do you think that's also a right way to go?
In a way.
Okay.
I think it's a good one. So meaning you don't have to suffer, looking for people to help you uncover issues. You have someone who, so you go on agreement. Maybe the reduction, maybe some few months simply because you came out to, uncover those that you doesn't work with. Yeah.
But that's snitching. In America, if you snitch, you ditch.
And that is not snitching.
Snitching.
I did a job with you and I've been caught. Obviously, I'm not going down alone. I've been caught. So me, I should go and suffer, then you be outside and be in a case like this, that one is different. But in a different case, maybe I can decide to sacrifice. It depends on the context of the issue and the kind of relationship we have.
Okay.
But something like this, nah.
Okay. So let me ask this. Let's say in the context of Edu Boahen's issue.
Edu Boahen?
Yeah.
Okay.
The NSB man. And let's say, or just a pause, all the funds were in the name of the wife. So the wife was the one who was caught. Let's say you were the wife.
I'm not the wife.
No, but I mean just a pause. And you are the one being caught with all these things. But you know that all these doings was of your husband. Are you going to...
That's actually my husband.
Yeah.
I'll cover up for him because he has to stay back and take care of the family and the kids.
Oh, okay.
So with that one, the relationship we have, so for that one, I'll sacrifice and then cover up for him because he has to take care of the kids. So if you all go, who will take care of the children?
Oh, your parents are there, in-laws are there.
Oh, they are there, but they need a parent figure in their lives.
Wow.
Yeah. So with that, I think I can sacrifice.
For that one, you can sacrifice.
Yeah, I'll sacrifice for my husband. Yes, better for us.
Hey. Are you married?
What?
Are you married?
I'm not married, but my parents are married.
Oh, okay.
Why are you asking if I'm married?
Oh, because I want to help get you a husband. I mean, with what you are saying, that means, every man who finds you has found a good wife.
No, like you just have to be strategic about it.
How?
Like how I mentioned, you have kids. Like you have a whole family. You guys have built a life together. And obviously that money saved. He didn't chop it alone. You chop some.
Okay.
And so you can offer to sacrifice yourself. Why not?
For that one,
and probably I know my husband will be working back door to try everything in his possible means to make sure I have a good treatment or better, so I'm taken out of such a situation. So if you are all in it, who is going to help the other? I'm not married.
Okay.
And I'm not single.
I didn't even ask you, but
I'm telling you.
You brought it up there,
in case you are going to find someone.
Okay, so Wuntumi, is he out now?
Wuntumi is not out. Wuntumi is still in the custody of Iyoko. Yes.
Where exactly is he now? Is he at Iyoko or NIB?
Oh, NIB. So according to reports, I learned he's in he's in the custody of NIB.
How many institutions have issues with this man? What
And
exactly has he
so
done to
yesterday someone sent me, was it a link that what's the name? Is it GRA also coming? It's also coming for his account. They also want to have an investigation.
No. Is this a political witch hunt? Or?
How is it a political witch hunt?
No, I'm only asking. Why is everyone now having issues with him? This man has been in this country for so many years, so they never had issues until now.
Okay, so Wontemi's arrest, FIC bails new case against Wontemi amid ongoing Iyeko arrest. So they are coming for him.
Hey.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah, you Wontemi. Maybe I say to me no. But you know, the his lawyer says that it's not his duty to get sureties for him.
That's what his lawyer says.
Yes.
So whose responsibility it is?
He says it's the responsibility of his family and his friends. He can work to get the bill, but after that.
But I think he can advocate for sureties. I don't know much about law, but if you're a lawyer, you should be like an intermediary between your client and then the security agencies as well, which also includes the public. So it's more or less like your lawyer has to feed you with what you have to say to the security agencies and also to your family as well. So I feel like, in my opinion, I'm not a law person, but in my opinion, I think the lawyer is the one supposed to
get him the sureties.
And that's what I think.
Well, if he will, that is optional. It's not obligated.
It's not obligated.
Yes, and in this case, you see, I think he's right. Onone juma ne say, obema amra na ye juma na yama obil. Bill, the bill is there. Like the bill consent is there. Here is your bill. This is what you do to exercise that bill. That is all that is left. But and see, Amoka said Dr. Baomia could do 12 then how did that one end?
It didn't yield to anything. And me, I don't even know why Baumia went there.
Oh, but I mean,
do you think it was necessary for him to be there? What was he going to do? Nobody's above the law. They are working with the law. So you being a former vice, then are you going to tell them to release him or what? And if they release him, what would that make of our law?
Okay.
So in a way, I felt he shouldn't have even gone there trying to. I quite said like, for bonus. So in as much as we've had issues that Wontemi was pushing money into his investigation, I felt he should have even worked back door, rather than his presence even being there.
Really?
Yes.
Well, you see, okay. If he hadn't been there to, maybe he felt the party.
What did he do? What development did he bring to Wontemi's case? That is what I want to know. Because as now, Wontemi was not released. He's still there.
To show, should I say solidarity or support or something? Emotional support.
Emotional support?
Yeah.
Vice President. And this person has been charged with these allegations, and you went there. What will people even make of you? Like, you get it.
So you believe he shouldn't have?
I felt his presence wasn't needed. Like, it wasn't necessary for him to be there in the first place.
Is it because of his position, or because once a vice president, always a vice president?
Once a vice president, always a vice president.
So you think because of that he should have looked at this issue from a statesman's view rather than a political party?
You should just allow the laws to deal with him. Rather than you trying to, I don't know if he was going to negotiate or advocate or what, but his presence was not necessary. I don't think it was necessary. If there's going to be a question mark, and then they are going to accuse Ghana again. And now It's a lawless country. You do things anyhow. Someone has been charged with these whole allegations, and then you let the person go scot-free simply because a high-profile person, the vice president, has come to plead on his behalf. It doesn't work like that. Allow the laws to work and do your solidarity or whatever they want to do back door.
It seems you have issues with this man.
No, I don't have any issues with that man. I don't. And even in public, we are the bonica. Your mom will be like, hey, stop that. Even in as much as he's going to defend you in public, if you get home, he's still going to blast you. You know what she did is not right. Yeah, it doesn't work like that. You yourself, what he did is good. Was it necessary for him to be there? What did he do? What development did he bring to Wuntumi's case?
But then,
look at that. Assuming he wasn't there.
Oh,
yes. When he came, there was a whole lot of chaos and everything. They slapped the lady there. So assuming he was not there, would that lady be slapped?
Who slapped who? Who's the lady? Where's the lady from? Who is the lady?
So I learned the lady was with Baumia. Like I said, like no Dinechi.
Oh,
yeah.
And who slapped it? The Yoko officers?
No, not the Yoko officers. But I think someone in the midst of the crowd.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought the entire crowd there was in support of the whole release meeting. So there were people who were also against the release meeting. Oh.
Oh, you didn't see it on social media. Oh, they slapped one lady. She came out. Oh, it's sad. What's our cocoa count? See, born as you know, like you could see it. It was that visible. I'll look for the video. I'll share it to you on WhatsApp.
I don't.
Oh, they slapped a lady then.
What was her crime? Like
for that one, from the blog I saw, they didn't really tell what her crime was. But it was Obiani Neomo Kika. Dr. Baumia why did they like
Yeah.
But one thing I didn't support the fact that Dr. Baumia going there was that when they were trying to allow him go into the premises of Iyoko, they were pushing the doors. So assuming security was not tight enough, you get it?
Yeah. For that one I saw.
Yeah.
The people were trying
to break.
Yeah.
So assuming security was not tight enough,
so all of them would have rushed.
Yeah, all of them would have rushed in, and what would happen would have happened. So you see why you shouldn't have been there? Because they can't leave a whole vice president to be standing outside in the midst of the crowd like that.
Yeah. That's a whole
for security reasons too.
Yeah.
So they had to let him in, and trying to get him in, they were trying to push through the door. So you see why he shouldn't have been there. Why don't you stay in your house and do your solidarity back door? And say you don't like Dr. Baumia, but that is it. Let's state the fact.
We should state the fact. Okay. Another fact is that my people who said they were going to sleep there until they released.
7 p.m. You didn't even see anybody there.
And then the next morning,
on orthopedic bed, no that Laura Council.
The next morning they were in Parliament.
They were in Parliament.
Honorable said.
I thought who to me should be feeling sad as a now because it's that sad. Nobody could even sacrifice their night. Oh,
but I think effortlessly, Adongo is taking the position of Katie Hammond. He's being very funny in Parliament.
That's nice.
He has another submission he made in regards to one footballer, Harry Maguire, and the scenario he gave in comparison to the defender, it was so accurate, like very, very accurate. Very, very funny man. But I don't know what all these things are about. But a man has been granted bail since Thursday. They still can't find a way to get him out and all. I think it's quite disturbing and worrying. And also, you see there were allegations that why did the NIB, why did Yoko Rambo style this man went to me right from the CID's office and all. His lawyer says that okay, according to reports, the NIB had already invited him for investigations and he ignored them.
He ignored them.
Why do they think they have that, I don't know, that privilege to ignore state security when invited for?
Because of who they think they are.
Who do they think they are?
Yeah.
Above the law.
Above the law. Ogboro. You can't tell me what to do. That kind of attitude.
I want to get your opinion on something.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Was it yesterday or was Saturday? Osei Kwame Despite. He launched his museum, automobile museum. We invited all these big people in there. The Ibrahim Mohammeds, like all of them were there. And we've heard from the chairman of the NDC say that it's a commendable thing. This helps every civilized country having such institutions. It helps their development for the next generation to learn from, blah blah blah.
Automobile.
Yeah, these are cars that are being made, produced
or
from.
he has used it before. Oh no, I don't know.
You see,
are they cars probably he has used before that he's trying to exhibit them?
Yeah, like
or
these
they are
are
new cars that he brought into the country purposely to be exhibited.
Okay, it's more of his car collections. These are the cars he has bought. He owns them.
Oh, okay.
So
he's exhibiting his wealth.
Yeah, let's put it that way.
Okay.
Yes, it's more of that, like exhibiting your wealth. And how does this contribute to, as a statesman, to say, I think, I don't know if I can actually
maybe
find
he
that
means
story.
it in a different context.
Really?
But I don't get his context though.
Me too. Because we are talking about Obi Kasa Waye. Obi Kasa Waye ewo ni krom. Ana Obi Akoto ebe exhibit. Then you are saying these things are no. Senkaminya we na. Nkame de be chiro pa na ahwe. I'll get it to you once I chance on it again.
Okay.
But before I leave you to go, do you know that fuel prices has dropped again?
Yes, I saw that yesterday.
It has dropped again, and people are demanding that. Then the fare should go down again. do you think it's fair? It's valid?
I think we have to take our time.
Why?
Yeah, we have to take our time. The fuel prices, they are not statics. Probably they will go up again. Probably they will reduce again.
Yeah.
So for people saying that it has reduced again, so let's reduce transport fares again. I think they have to take their time.
Oh, okay.
It's too early.
It's too early. But I almost said besan kofe mo.
And then we can. But right now it's too early. Was it not yesterday? It reflected. Yeah. So it's too early they've already reduced the prices, and they've reduced fuel price again. I think they should take their time. Let's see if this is going to be there for quite some time before we advocate or say that let's reduce transport fares.
Okay.
I feel it's too early.
Oh, okay. Gode, you've joined us finally.
Yeah, finally. Good morning to you.
Good morning. I hope everything is fine.
Yeah, Charlie.
You had a good weekend.
Sure.
Okay. It's a new week, a new man too.
Yeah, new week, new man.
Yeah.
You're hoping for the best, right?
Okay. Your party. It seems you are doing magic, or this is also at the back of the NPP's, good deeds. It could be because mobile pandemic my yentia. Fuel prices back of it. Like what have you done?
Biggie.
Yes, sir.
Good morning to you again.
Good morning.
a good morning to your management here as well. Sure. And then let me use your platform to say good morning to the president and then the vice president as well.
Okay.
And then to all party executives. PJ, it's not magic. It is. It's not magic.
So what is
it? It's not magic. Look, the NDC administration, PK, is full of performance and not promises. The President Mahama-led administration, NDC, is a whole box of performance and not promises. PK?
Yes, sir.
And I am a proud young politician growing up to be a member of the NDC.
Okay.
I'm so glad, very happy to be part of the Mahama's or President Mahama's government as an NDC party.
Okay.
It is not magic.
So what is it?
It is not magic. I'm coming.
Okay, I'm waiting. I want to hear this one.
PK, you see, what baffles me the most is the fact that a president who is into communication, a communicationist, and a vice president who is into education, an educationist, are better managing and handling this economy as compared to an economist and a lawyer.
What is the difference?
PK,
yes, sir.
Who will you give your business to, or who will you hand over your business to, all things being equal? An economist and a lawyer and another set of people, which is an educationist and a communicationist.
I mean, if achieving
PK, all things being equal.
Oh yes.
Look, the majority will go for an economist and a lawyer.
Really?
Yeah.
But you know, the another aspect of it is this: we have an educationist. He actually taught the lawyer and the economist. So, Rebecca say, "Onokra na brains ni na free."
Sir.
Yeah.
Now communication is also way.
Okay,
relax. Relaxing. So you see, we had an economist and a lawyer when our inflation rate was pegged at 54%.
COVID, Ukraine, Russia war.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Still, there's Ukraine-Russia war. We had an economist and a lawyer, PK, when our fuel price was pegged at 17 cedis per liter. We had an economist and a lawyer when our exchange rate was bazaar. We were buying $1 for 17 Ghana cedis. PK, relax.
Okay.
I'm serious.
Okay.
This morning. Okay. PK, a lawyer and an economist. A pure water rose from 20 pesos to 50 pesos in this country. So what is the magic here? There's no magic here. It is the fact that they didn't know what to do as a government in power. They didn't know what to do.
What are some of the things that you believe your party has done?
PK,
which has brought this?
Look, the last time I checked, do you have a globe at home?
Yeah.
The last time I checked, if you go home, all those watching us, those listening to us, check the map of Ghana on the globe. It is turning green.
It's turning
and
green.
I and you, we know that green means what? Life. Okay, the map of Ghana is turning green. You know it for a fact.
Got it.
Look, it's turning green because the era of lies, the era of arrogance, the era of incompetence, the era of family and friends, the era of party yesika is over. I repeat again, the era of lies. I'm telling you why the economy is bouncing back. The era of lies, the era of incompetence, the era of arrogance, the era of party yesika the era of corruption is over. Were we not in this country? When we were told that, look, DDEP bondholders wouldn't have a haircut. Our parents, our grandparents, our brothers and sisters who have invested so much in the government, because they thought, look, the safest place to invest was to invest in the government. What happened? We were in this country when they were denied of their money. They were given a solid haircut. Sakura, Coco Sakura. PK, was it not a lie? Again, was it not a lie when we were told that, look, Momo is for the poor, and therefore we can't tax Momo? At the end, the party in power said, nonsense. Are you to tell us what to do? Or we have to tell you what to do? We will pass it whether you like or not. And at the end, a Momo or E-Levy party was organized and celebrated to annoy Ghanaians. Okay, PK, was it not arrogance when a whole member of parliament paid by Ghana's taxpayer, Napo, Ghanaians were calling for timetable for doing so? The minister said, nonsense. What do you mean? If you want a timetable for doing so, prepare one yourself.
But probably there wasn't Dumso then. Did we have Dumso?
PK, he said, nonsense. Prepare your timetable yourself if you want. PK, was it not because of corruption when the former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo said, look, when I'm sworn into power, when I'm giving the nod to lead the country, all President Mohammed's appointees who are engaged in corruption will be prosecuted, arrested and prosecuted. What happened? At the end, we were told that our president, Ghana's own president, was the mother serpent of corruption. Wowo mame primre.
Did you hear that? You heard it?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, you hear it. I know. I know you hear it.
But who said it?
PK, again, I still don't understand the family and friends era, where up to now, the president's daughter, who was putting or placed at the arts and culture industry, I still don't understand why she didn't have an appointment letter. Was it not family and friends?
Oh, so she was occupying that position.
Yes, without an appointment letter.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know about that.
Oh, yes. Honestly. You know today.
Oh. Can we fact check that?
PK, look, why won't it baffle me? Why won't it surprise me? Why won't it surprise I and you? And AC here? That the government of the day, that's the president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo government, performed so badly. Please, credit should be given to who credit is due. Who that cap fits, PK, should wear it.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard that song. Who that cap fits, let him wear it.
So
so President Mohammed's head fits the cap. So why are we giving credit to former presidents Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Bawumia?
Okay. Before we get into the main discussions for today, the OSP was told that Ofuriatta should return today.
PK, I'll come there.
On 2nd June. Is he in?
Yeah, me abaho.
Awaba.
On my.
Oh.
On my.
Ade.
Is it on my? I'll come there. Relax, mommy. PK, look. President Mahama is seriously working.
Okay.
So we shouldn't interrupt him at all.
Okay.
Because the last time I checked, I don't remember President Mahama saying, look, I've put in my presidency on the line to combat Galamsey. But we know for a fact today that the first 5 months of President Mahama's administration, Galamsey is compacted very well. 208 people arrested so far. 99 excavators seized. Pistols, bulldozers, PK generators. Look at how they are working to eradicate Galamsey.
Okay.
PK again. President Mahama has not said on any platform that look, I have an economic management team. Professor Harry Idrisu, Professor Atufosen, Dr. Malik Basintali, Emeritus Sami Jemfi, Mr. Kojo Harrison Abba, Reverend John Jinapo, Pope Beatrice Annan, PK, Apostle Jenana Opoku Ajiman. What a solid team. What a solid team. PK, we are serious as a party. We should be serious as a country as well. President Mahama without an economic management team.
Without a solid team.
Without a solid team. What a solid team.
Who said that?
You know. Look, without an economic management team, we are buying $1 for almost 9 Ghana cedis. PK, I'm answering your question now.
Okay.
In 2021, gold reserve, gold gave Ghana $1.8 billion.
Okay.
In 2022, again, gold gave us $1.8 billion.
Okay.
In 2023, gold gave Ghana $2.1 billion. 2024, gold gave Ghana $2.9 billion. Andy, in 2025, January till now, gold has given Ghana $5.2 billion. Where the money go there?
From January to May.
From January to May.
We've had 5.2.
$5.2 billion. Go and check.
Is it? Where did check, mommy?
Okay.
$5.2 billion.
Really?
Just 5 months in President Mahama's administration.
The gold board.
Really?
And it's as a result of the gold board. PK,
That's interesting.
cocoa alone, the whole of last year, 2024, under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's regime, cocoa gave Ghana $1.9 billion. Today, in 5 months of President Mahama's administration, do you know how much cocoa is giving us?
How much are we?
Cocoa is giving us $1.84 billion
In the first 4
in the first 4 months. So what are you saying? Why will people make those flimsy statements out there that the CD and the dollar is as a result of President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's policy?
Okay.
Please, they should be ashamed of themselves to say that.
Okay.
Again, President Mahama have not said that. Look, I'm going to make Accra the cleanest city in the world or in Africa. But look at the manner at which, the enthusiasm at which the ministers and the mayors are tidying or are cleaning up the inner city of Ghana. Go to Kumasi. Come to Accra. So I'm imagining that, look, what if President Mahama has said he's putting his presidency on the line? And I can bet him. Because this is the man I'm talking to you about. This is the government I'm telling you about.
Okay. Okay.
Ghana beyond aid. President Mahama has never said on any platform, oh, Ghana beyond aid, Ghana beyond aid. But President Mahama obu minor without major foreign aids and loans.
Okay.
President Mahama have never said, look, I know the economy is in a mess. And so for that matter, another person will come and make the country a better one for us. President Mahama have never said that on any platform, as I know. He just gave a simple sentence. He said, we will fix it. This is a visionary leader, PK. So today, if someone says, look, PK, the policy of former President, Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia is as a result why we are getting our economy bouncing back. Sinipanu, shame the person.
Okay.
Because the person doesn't really know what is happening in Ghana. The person doesn't really know what is happening in Ghana. Because you see what Ken Oforiatta is doing.
Yeah.
If the former minister was here in Ghana and then he's been invited and then he doesn't show up, the national security will then go to him. And then the NPP party will come together, sit on the floor, and say that, oh, ya chi nipa. I'm very surprised.
Say
a former minister who knows the law has been invited by OSP, which is backed by law, and then you are playing wishy-washy games.
He said he's not feeling well.
I told you here that people weren't well, but they were able to be placed in ambulance, took to Parliament House, and then passed e-levy bill. They weren't well. So what are you saying?
Okay. Fair. That's fair.
They weren't well as well.
But do you think that the OSP has been too lenient on this whole matter?
Oh yes, Ebu Boba.
Sir.
Ebu Boba.
Okay. So what should we expect?
You see, PK, this issue, I trust the OSP.
Okay.
And I trust the government in power as well. Look, President Mahama is climbing down on every corrupt person in Ghana here.
Okay.
The corruption is a
Okay.
Look, even if to the extent that President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo, the former president, should appear before a committee to answer questions, so shall it be. That will serve as a deterrent to we the young ones growing up in politics that look, whenever you are given a position to occupy within a government, make sure you do the right thing. If not, because these are people we think or we say we are looking up to, they end up embezzling funds and then they go scot-free. So if you are looking on to the person, if you are trying to emulate the person, won't you emulate this kind of attitude unknowingly?
Okay.
Because Ken Oforiatta here, you know, young cash.
Okay.
To me, so me yeah, sikanu go ho, me de be defend me ho.
Okay, that's fine. Were you able to fact check there?
No, I didn't find it.
Oh, okay. We will do it then tomorrow, God willing. Because if we've gotten about 5.2, that is almost all that we made from. You can
even check on Joy News. It's there. Check on Joy News.
Then the gold board is really
doing well. Okay. It's really doing well.
Okay. We just hope that there's not a camouflage.
It is not. It's not.
To, be sustained and
it's
all
not.
These things, because I mean, we always know that whenever there is a change of government, in the first phase of the new government, we see some good stuff.
Yeah.
But along the line, then the decline begins to appear. Is it not the same thing we are about to experience, or you think this is something not of?
President Mahama has been there before, and President Mahama has stated it clear that Sisi ano de edi na mepe. Edi na mepe.
Okay.
Look, it tells it all in President Mahama's appointment.
Okay.
Giving the young ones this position because he knows that look, these young ones are still growing in politics.
All right.
Because or the old men after all, I know about the brave.
Okay.
But these young ones, you should be reasonable enough to know that, look, I'm still growing in politics. And therefore, I need to share my name. So it's not a camouflage.
Okay.
It's really not a camouflage. Okay.
Okay.
It is as a result of experience. That is why the economy is now where it is today.
Good. We have our colleague guest in the studio who will be joining us, and then we get into the main discussions for the day. We are still here to get the bill resolved for Chairman Untumi. Do you think it's a deliberate attempt by the government to keep the chairman in custody? I mean, I don't know if it is to frustrate him or to send a message to some, because by what we know, and I know you are growing into becoming a lawyer yourself.
Yeah.
The law clearly states that we can't keep someone, we can't detain someone for more than 48 hours. And this man has been in custody for over 72 hours and counting. Still no bill. So what is going on?
You see, PK, in this life, whenever you are doing something, you should always know that, look, what is ahead of us is not known. And therefore, you have to be tactical in everything you do.
Okay.
PK, look, when the minority comes up, sit on the floor, make comments like, look, the 50 million cedis is too much. I just can't think far.
Why is that?
PK, do you know how much was placed on Wyoming?
How much?
I'm asking, do you know how much it was placed on Wyoming? This is not the first time. I mean, there is an amount of 50,000 million cedis.
50 million.
50 million cedis.
Okay.
Yeah, precedent which are more than that.
The case of Atuesi.
Oh yes.
Sure.
You know.
Even a Dubuahin.
Even a Dubuahin.
So
but see, the mistake. Look,
what is going on?
You see,
now?
the mistake the party, the NPP party, is making is that, look, they are not following due process.
Really?
And the due process is, look, if you think that our client has been slapped with so much, a huge money, PK, the law, the court is there.
Okay.
That you have to follow due process. Okay. Talk to the court.
All right.
That, look, my client, we can't afford this bill. So is there something you can do about it for us?
So that the court will review.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's fair.
Because again, look, the 50 million cedis, it is, you see, for me, I think it should even be more. Because if you look at the amount of money, the amount of damages Chairman Untumi has caused to this nation, I think we were quantifying it, and it's almost 500 million Ghana cedis. Yes.
Okay.
And because we all know that, look, if you are slapped with an amount, it's supposed to be more than how much we think you have embezzled.
Okay.
So comparing 50 million and then 500 million Ghana cedis, it should have even be more than 500 million Ghana cedis.
All right, that's fair.
So nobody is breaching any rule, nobody is breaching any law, but the minority should know that, look, the country, we are being governed by a constitution.
Okay.
And for that matter, whatever you want to do, you should go according to the constitution to get things rightly done.
Okay, whatever you want to do, you should go by the constitution to get things appropriately done. Our guest has joined us in the studio in the person of Mr. Dennis Dati. Dennis, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I hope everything is fine.
Yeah, everything is well.
We thank God. We thank God.
Okay.
Fortunate and unfortunately for us, our time is almost half spent, so we will be quite brief with our submissions on each topic that we have today. Because that's another time. Yes, but I believe that next week we will do better. So yes, getting into the conversations right away. The first topic for discussion is the government in power has come up with a policy which he calls the Ghana Labor Export Program. This program is seeking to one of the challenges we have in Ghana is unemployment. It has been almost like a cancer eating up the country year in, year out. People go to school, they graduate, and there is no work or job for them to do. And so the government has come up with a policy that, okay, we are now about to export labor to other countries who are in need of the expertise that we have, that we can't utilize them as at now. So then, if they need it, we are exporting it to them to utilize it. What do you make of it? Because there is this conversation, a diverse discourse that instead of us to build up companies, industries to employ these people, we are lazing around, exporting them rather to somewhere to go and work there. The taxes are going there, they are going to pay taxes there. No. Meanwhile, if we should have established our own industries or companies here, we would have benefited straight up from them. On the other hand, exporting them to work there is also giving them something to do. So, in all, looking at both ends of it, what do you make of this whole policy? I'll take Dennis first.
Okay, first of all, thank you for this opportunity, and I would like to apologize for being late. I mean, the traffic situation today was very much hectic. So going straight to the issue, I mean, Ghana has been exporting labor since the 60s.
Okay.
So this is not new. You understand? I mean, if you have excess and you are facing unemployment challenges, I mean, the best thing to do is to throw them out there. To throw them out there. I mean, not in the vulgar sense, at least export them, export the labor, so that other countries who need them can benefit their services. Okay. And whilst benefiting from their services, the country too is in turn reducing unemployment.
Okay.
You know, we know that the unemployment situation in the country, I mean, it's very, very alarming, and it's going to become a national security issue. So with this policy, I mean, I laud the current government and the previous government in their attempts trying to inculcate this into our system, into our labor front. I applaud them, but I think it shouldn't end there. I mean, I was thinking that this government was going to continue from where the then government left, but whichever way, it's still in the same soup.
So in that front, like, where do you think the previous government, what were they doing that they left it that this government should have continued from?
Okay, what the Eto administration was doing that I was so much happy about was that the target market was the Caribbean. The Caribbean, I mean, in the Guyana, I mean, specific Caribbean countries, Guyana, Barbados, Jamaicans, and all those countries across, and that was the specific target.
As in exporting labor there.
Exporting labor there.
Okay.
Nurses, those in the health sector and in the education sector specifically.
Okay.
So, me, what I prefer, for the sake of consistency, there should be a target market. If it is the Caribbean space, we just stick to the Caribbean space, and not because we are facing unemployment challenges and we want to reduce the deficit, so we throw them anywhere. You understand? We need to have a target market, and the previous government, they did well by having a target market, which is the Caribbean space. I mean, this is not new.
Okay.
Nkrumah even started it. I mean, across the sub-region and in the southern part of Africa, you know, we had Ghanaian teachers and health workers working there. And I mean, experiences abound.
Okay.
I mean, there are stories of Nigerian diplomats telling stories that, during our school days, we had Ghanaian teachers taking us through schools and all of that, and they were the best. I mean, it's been there, but we need to sustain it and have a target market and not just throw them anyhow.
Okay. Before I leave you on this issue, over the years, as you said, experience has abounded and all. To now, or let's say even up to the end of the previous government, how active has this policy been? Like, have we really had it even as a policy where every year we know that we are exporting this number of labor out there? Because honestly speaking, this has been like a resurgence to people, like they are even now getting to know about it. So if it was really championed back then, why didn't we really know about it? And it is now that it has become something of a forefront that we are all looking to upload.
Okay, it has been a policy. I mean, right from the new Ghana. Okay. The new Ghana, I mean the Ghana of the 60s.
Okay.
It has been a policy, but you know, as a country, we've had challenges.
Okay.
You understand? We've had challenges in terms of our governance issues. We've had the military coup and all of that. We've truncated a little bit.
Okay.
I mean that's the reason why we don't have a policy document to sustain it. Okay. But I think I don't know. I overheard that the new Constitutional Review Committee, they are considering it. They are considering of stamping it permanently.
They are backing it by law.
Yeah.
Okay.
Permanently stamping it into thinking to be backed by law, so that at least it shouldn't be like a policy of an administration. It should be a national policy. I mean, the point that you make is quite laudable, but that's what I heard, that the National Constitution Review Committee are considering considering it.
Okay. Thank you very much, Denise. Gode.
Yeah. You see, Ghana is not in isolation.
Okay.
And for that matter, anybody who says, look, you are supposed to build companies and institutions in Ghana to accommodate all your workforce, wouldn't know what he or she is saying. Because, like I said, Ghana is not in isolation. It is like, you need me, I need you.
Yeah.
And as a country, look, every country has their challenges. Every country in this world has their own challenges.
Okay.
And one of the challenges in Ghana now is unemployment.
Okay.
One of the current challenge, which is very huge on every government, is unemployment. The rate of unemployment in Ghana is high.
Okay.
Especially among the youth.
Sure.
So I think this is something from President Mahama which I'm not surprised, because this should be the least policies that he's offering to Ghanaians.
Okay.
As I know, President John Dramani Mahama.
Okay.
Look, if you don't have all it takes to employ people in your country, you should find an alternative. That makes you a leader.
Okay.
If you don't have what it takes to accommodate all your youthful or labor force, PK, you have to find an alternative. And the alternative, one of the alternative is that, look, let's partner with other countries. Let's partner with other nations so that we can have a lot of our youth employed there.
Okay.
Legally.
Okay.
Because we know that, and we know for a fact that, look, time, people will want to go out there to work. A lot of them uses the illegal way. Some of them die along the line.
Okay.
Some of them get there, and a whole lot of malnutrition.
Okay.
But if this policy is backed and if it's supported, PK, trust me, people who go there will come back and then apply their knowledge and even come to invest more in the country.
Okay.
So let's support this cause, let's support this policy so that we all have a better country to live in.
Okay. That's fair. Anything you would want to add or rebut from what Gode said?
No, you see, he would, as a politician, he would come from the political viewpoint. You understand? But with me, I would look at it holistically from the national viewpoint, nationalistic viewpoint.
Okay.
So what I said, I mean, viewers and listeners would attest to it that it was purely national.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's fine, and his viewpoint is
equally
perfect. Yeah, it's equally important. I mean, he brings that angle into the conversation, and it makes it balanced. So so kudos to him.
You see, before Dennis walked in, we were on the topic of corruption.
Yeah.
One of the corrupt issues at hand at the moment. You know, let's take corruption as a national discourse. Without any political lenses in this matter. I want us to be Ghanaians first. The most place we experience corruption as a country now is in politics. It's more like the attraction of politics is now coming from the edge of making money. Everyone who wants to get into politics is no more with the backing idea of I want to contribute to the development of this nation. But it's rather more of politics. It has become like a gateway to, making money. And then in turn, automatically breeding corruption. Why do we think that as a country, as Ghana, that development is what we need right now, mostly, rather than inculcating or leveraging our political advancement on development, we are rather leveraging it on corruption? Why has corruption become so attractive in the political space? And I want us to tackle this issue not with a political lens. Let's tackle it as statesmen. Why has corruption become so attractive in the political space?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
you can go.
Okay, all right. Thank you once again, and we would all attest to the damages corruption has caused to this country, and it is estimated that we lose in excess of $3 billion annually to corruption. That's huge.
That's huge.
That's huge.
Like that can build about 10 different UGMCs.
Yeah. Like fully equipped.
Yeah. $3 billion. Yes, they can.
In excess. I mean, that's sad. It's heart wrenching. You might think that my first travel out of Accra was to the central region, and we read in the literature what central region is what it was then, and my first contact with central region was poverty. Poverty. I mean, you could I was in contact with real poverty. That is when I realized the extent to which mismanagement is as eating us up as people. Corruption. And how do we tackle corruption? I mean, we should tackle it with a national front. We should be brutal. Like we can take the Asian part. I mean, Asian part. Let me isolate Singapore and use the Singapore example.
Okay.
I mean, Singapore, corruption is active, but it is very much unattractive because the penalty is death.
Okay. Wow.
I mean, it's death. I mean,
like there's no negotiation.
There's
once you are found corrupt.
I mean, there's no middle grounds. Wow. I mean, it's you should be hanged. You should be hanged, sent to the gallows, shot. I mean, killed because money meant for millions.
Yeah.
Pumping all into your pocket. I mean, this is heartbreaking when you hear stories of people stealing millions of dollars.
Yeah.
See, United States.
Yeah.
We all know that United States is the owner of the US dollars. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked to know the number of United States citizens who are USD millionaires. I mean dollar millionaires.
Yeah.
Just few.
Yeah.
So when you hear stories of people embezzling millions of
year, like someone can use $16 million to feed athletes.
You know me and you know what I do.
Yeah.
You know the project that we are erecting.
Sure.
It will be a life changer in West Africa. I mean, it will be the biggest thing in the sub-region.
Wow.
Actually, it will be the biggest thing in the sub-region.
Wow.
And the amount we are spending, it totals in excess of 10 million USD.
Wow.
And the facility we are coming to erect. So when I hear stories of we embezzling such huge money, I say, and we could. It is very heartbreaking. Bro, it is very heartbreaking when you see the meager amount of money other countries are using to develop their health sector, their industries, their tech and everything, and we are just throwing money left, right, center. I mean, it is heartbreaking. So the best way to go about it is we should be brutal.
Okay.
We should be brutal.
So you think that our response to corruption is what is
encouraging it? Yes, our response is what is still encouraging it. And I pray that since this is a legacy term of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, I know this your medium is it goes far, and I don't know whoever is listening. You send it to him. We plead with you, John. This is your legacy term. Please set a tone so that when you exit office, we follow on that trend. Please do not spare. I mean, hammer them, hammer the mosquitoes with sledgehammers. Please attack it head on. Corruption is really eating us up. I mean, some of us are fortunate to be in Accra, but in other regions, the poverty it stinks. It stinks.
You see the kind of money we embezzle and the things it could have done.
It could have done.
Places. We still have schools under trees. We have students who can't go to school sometimes because when it rains, the path they use is flooded. Teachers.
I mean the teachers. I mean, I don't know which of. I mean, I can't mention the name here. Yeah. One of the media houses did a documentary on the living conditions of teachers in the rural areas. It was terrible. And the sad thing is that it is not a space in the north too. Just in Eastern region.
Just in Eastern
region is close to the capital.
Yeah. Eastern region is like
it's
an
just
hour or two
drive from Accra. And I said this is the level of poverty in Eastern region.
Then how much more?
How much my hometown north?
It's crazy.
Look at what we are doing.
In some cheap compounds, it's only paracetamol.
Paracetamol that they have.
It is very, very terrible. My good brother, it is very, very terrible. See, we need to try, as much as we can to make corruption unattractive.
Okay. What will be, like, in a space of 30 seconds, I know, we need to rush, but then, what will be your suggestion on how to tackle corruption?
Okay, if I mean, in our policy document, in our constitution, see, we should be honest about it. You know, the penalty for corruption should be death.
It should be death.
It should be death.
Like no compromise.
No,
nothing.
we shouldn't compromise.
Okay.
You send you to the gallows. I mean, shoot you. I mean, just throw you up because you are too wicked.
Okay.
You are too wicked to be living amongst us.
Okay.
Corruption, I mean, it's
not something
it's terrible.
We should even accommodate.
No, it's not something we should accommodate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dennis. Good day.
Yeah, PK, you see, with this corruption issue, I just don't side with my brother saying that, look, shoot and kill. But I understand.
No.
Yes.
Do you know what? No. Since ages, let's be honest.
No, PK, you see, but
we've been
this,
massaging the issues.
The issue, yes,
and it keeps popping up.
I understand his frustration about this whole issue. And I don't blame him.
I am not the only one in this. This situation.
No.
I mean, there are a lot of us. I mean, you can run a poll. I mean, people will support it.
Of course.
Because we've been.
But you see, we are in a democratic environment.
Okay.
And therefore, we will have to exercise a little bit of patience in doing certain things.
We have countries operating in democratic spaces. And they are attacking it with brute force.
You see,
and they are winning.
You see, we are
is it that you see yourself that you be corrupt so you are afraid?
We are still growing as a democratic country.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know that people are in jail today with no wrongdoing? So if all those in jail today, we are shooting them to kill. You know the innocent number of people we are killing.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying.
I didn't say we should go on a shooting spree.
Yeah, I understand you.
That's not what I said.
I understand my brother.
Okay.
Because it is so annoying.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating that you go to some part of the country and a whole environment, a whole village
don't even have a water. Like
don't even have water to drink. You see, but someone can hoard money.
State money funds to do a project.
To do that can take care of everybody in a village. So are you not that wicked? You understand?
Yeah.
So you see, Ghana now and then is losing money, so much money, millions of money because of corruption. Like my brother rightly said,
like $3 billion.
Yes,
that's huge.
That's very huge.
If we should be really honest,
which we can use, invest in schools, hospitals, roads, markets, in the lives of people.
That's going to transform millions of lives.
Millions of lives. But you see, we end up treating corruption like just a mere coincidence. But people deliberately
do these
things. And you see, the corruption, the CPI, is no surprise that they are rating Ghana so poor when it comes to corruption handling. And it's for the fact that, look, PK, governments and heads of institutions are not treating corruption scandal like hardcore, like my brother is saying.
Okay.
And because of that, people don't fear
to engage.
Yet to engage in corruption.
Corruption. Okay.
Because Nipa Nunim, he knows that look, the kind of money I've embezzled, I can find a good lawyer.
Okay.
To defend me.
Yeah.
Even though I am wrong.
Okay. That's fair.
But like my brother is saying, if you are found culprit
and you are shot.
You are shot, dead. Which is very harsh, I think. But you see, like I said, I understand him because if you look at how people are suffering and just a few number of people, I don't know where they are accumulating what to do.
People are stealing generational wealth.
Yes, people are stealing generational wealth.
And they
like
are
he's
going
saying.
scot-free.
At the end, these people, their children will come out, tell you that look, oh papa nyade,
wambobra. Meanwhile, na me kura mi jetire na.
Yes.
Oh papa wi aye na.
Papa bo krono.
Charlie.
Oh papa mbobra. You see, so this corruption issue, it is something I think as a nation we need to come together and then really tackle it.
Okay. But Gode, you see, you mentioned that Dennis' suggestion is harsh.
Yeah.
What would be your suggestion?
Biggie.
Yes, sir.
My suggestion is that look, when you are found guilty, okay, which of course we are doing, but it's not being straightened. Is we try as much as possible to make sure that look, all the monies that you've stolen, we make sure all your properties you have are taken over by the state.
Okay. So like we confiscate.
Yes, we confiscate all your properties.
And then recover all the money.
Recover all the money. And then if possible, put you in jail.
Okay.
Because in jail, no, you there are some people who are serving with hard labor.
Do you know what? I would want to quickly chip in something.
Okay.
The Singaporeans, it's not that they are on a killing spree. No, that's not what. They just want to put the fear of God in you. Like they just want to make it unattractive.
Yes,
it's not that
they are on have the edge.
You wouldn't, to
you know, for them to come.
You understand? Sure. I mean, they know that. I mean, there are loopholes. You understand? There are loopholes. We can get our way around it.
Yeah.
So that is it is a way. I mean, that is the only way. We will. Let's not pretend. That is the only way.
Okay.
That is what the Ghanaian understand.
The roots.
The brute force.
Okay.
Understand?
Buddy. Yeah. Continue with
that. So like I'm saying, yes, I'll still say I really side with my brother.
You understand?
Yeah, understand. Yes.
As a state man.
Yes, as a state man, because you know it's very frustrating and it's very heartbreaking.
See, one time, I was on a mission with an NGO. We went to somewhere in the Volta region. Gode, I was holding a bottle of water. In fact, when we were going, we saw people like leaving their farms. I will say something and you might not even believe it. I saw someone who was bathing, stopped bathing, come out to just watch their car. Like, so I asked the person who initiated us to visit. He was like, "How muka? I'm
seeing God."
And then I saw people surround me watching the water in the boat.
What?
That is the level of poverty.
What?
In Ghana.
Very sad.
And the sad thing is the ordinary Ghanaian is not like the American who wants to see the country fly out to space. No, the ordinary Ghanaian
just wasn't the basic
the basic thing. So I don't know, my brother.
Because I think it still boils down to our institutions who are responsible for handling corruption issues.
Gode, let me take this one from you. I mean, as I said, you are into becoming a lawyer yourself. There has been the call for a particular court to be set up to deal with corrupt issues, and these courts are supposed to be mandated with a speed wheel, where there's not going to be like 3 years we are still on a corrupt issue. It should be like
a fast track court.
A fast track court.
Okay.
What do you make of that?
I think if one minister, as I know, was proposing that.
Okay.
And then I'm sure they are working on it.
Okay.
Like the minister emphatically said that, look, he's going to push that agenda.
Okay.
So that we wouldn't have serious allegations or serious corrupt practices case join with the other ones to delay.
Okay.
So let's see. And let's hope that look, things will work out well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So finally, you think that we should just jail them? You still don't think they shoot to kill approaches?
No, shoot to kill approach. I think we've gone too far.
Too extreme.
Yeah, too extreme. And then maybe when it gets there. For now, I don't think we've gotten there.
Really?
Yeah. But now I don't think we've gotten there.
I'm waiting to see the time that you think we should get there, because when we are now, that we are still not there.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Okay, fine.
And then I'm sure by the time we get there, I mean, corruption cases wouldn't be so appetizing for people too. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. You wanted to chip in something?
No, it's fine.
Okay,
it's fine.
Okay, fine. Moving on to our next
Since
topic
we
for
have
discussion.
No time,
but if you want to say something.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine.
Okay. Dennis, you just mentioned earlier, which I'm also preview to have knowledge about on the facility you and your team is putting up together. And over the week, we saw a partnership between Ghana and the UAE. Already, one of the new or the recent administration's policy advocates during their campaign was some big steps in technology. One, for instance, is the 1 million coders training for individuals or the youth. Government has come out to say that they are in partnership with the UAE to establish a $1 billion tech hub in Ghana, like a $1 billion. $1 billion. Charlie?
It's very huge. Not cities. 1 billion.
Tech hub. First of all, the weight of technology now in the world, where technology has gotten to and where we are as a country in terms of catching up with technology. And this news that we've had that government is partnering with UAE to establish a tech hub in Ghana. What do you think this makes for us as a country? And I know you are on that field, you yourself and your team establishing something of that sort already.
So let's equip ourselves with some. How should I put it? Let me start by saying that the tech industry generally it generates almost $17.7 trillion annually.
In Ghana?
I repeat again, no, globally.
17.3 trillion.
0.7 trillion annually. USD annually. I'm telling you, yes, annually.
Yes,
with AI leading, and second is cybersecurity.
Whoa!
I'm telling you, it's a huge industry. So I don't know the partnership with UAE. I was so excited because, as you said, we are working on something.
Sure.
I was so excited, but in my excitement, something came up. I asked myself, how is the form going to be like? Is it that we are going to establish a tech hub that we will all operate from? Is it that already our universities, University of Ghana especially, we have a tech innovation hub. The University of Ghana Business School runs it, and they run it successfully, and they have yearly programs. The incubation center, they put people through training. Their ideas they train them, they equip them. I mean, they finance them. So I don't know whether our finance minister is going to look at the fact that already we have tech hub running in our universities. I don't know whether investments are going to part of the monies are going to go into our tech hubs in our various universities. And in so doing so, we have a system. I mean, I heard something like an HQ in which all the tech hubs in our various universities, in our various public universities, would operate from. You understand? That's what I'm thinking, because already we have a system in place. The only challenge is the money.
So you think
it's the finances. So I'm thinking that
they should rather advance it.
They should rather use part of the money. I mean, even 20% of the money to spread it across the public university to up their game in whatever tech
innovation
they are doing. Let me use the University of Ghana example. The University of Ghana example, the UGBS, they have a tech innovation hub. They run yearly programs. I mean, they incubate the guys for a year, train them, equip them, and throw them into the market. So I don't know whether they would use the University of Ghana example and work on that and I don't know, transport it to other universities. You understand? Because if we say that we have the 1 billion USD, let's build a structure in which you operate from. No, I don't think. I don't think it's sustainable. We should spread it across our tech innovation hub in other universities. Then we take it off from there. You understand? Because even with $10 million, just $10 million, and he is privy to our project. The details of our project is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. So imagine what 1 billion could do. You understand? See, all our extractive sectors, we generate only, with all our gold, diamond, and everything, we generate only 17.7 billion USD.
Wow.
Just 17.7 billion. It's just that. So imagine out of the 17.7 trillion, we getting just 1% of that. Can you imagine what 1% of 17.7 trillion would do to our economy? Just imagine. So I was happy, but in my excitement, I'm hoping and praying that it shouldn't be like we will build
a structure.
To
operate from.
No, just spread it across. Our universities.
The already established ones. We should advance
yes,
them.
because we already. One thing that distinguishes Ghana from other countries is that we have the administrative structures already. What we need is resources.
Wow.
In all sectors of our life, we have administrative structures.
Wow.
That is a smart thing that Nkrumah did.
Wow.
So no matter what, even you might think they are rotting, but the literature is there. Just visit the literature, then implement and go. So I'm calling on the minister that it shouldn't be like we are establishing a structure from which all of us will operate from. No, spread it across our schools. Spread it. Let it trickle down even to our senior high schools, so that we all benefit from.
You
understand? We all benefit from.
Charlie, solid.
So that's what I have to say. I mean, there's no time on our side. So
I think my brother said it all, and then since he is into that field, his explanation really makes sense, and I think whoever that is listening, and I know GhanaTalks Radio goes far. So whoever that is listening can take or pick up something from what my brother is saying. So that we don't end up wasting this 1 billion cedis.
Fund, dollars.
Dollars, sorry. We don't end up wasting this $1 billion because it's so huge that it will be better we don't start at all than to start and waste this money. You understand, PK? So we plead with all those who are in charge of this that look, we need we need
quickly.
No, let him finish. And
Okay.
that we need,
because of time, we won't be treating the last topic,
okay,
so we'll exhaust the time on this.
That's fine.
So we need more creative mind people who will help to implement this whole policy.
Okay.
I'm not into tech, but what I know is, look, technology has come to stay.
Yeah, look at the revenue we mentioned, like
Yes.
17.7
Yes.
trillion.
Yes.
USD annually.
It has come to stay,
Hey.
whether you like it
So
or not.
so imagine we are extracting just 1% of that.
Yeah, like just 1%.
Just 1% of the trillion.
Imagine.
So
Imagine what
it has come to stay, whether you like it or not. So it will be best on our side.
So the
for us to do it
Indians
well.
saw this way back. Way back.
That's why
They
they've
were smart.
championed it, especially with coding. Indians are like miles
Come
ahead
on.
of the world. Do you go with the assertion that we might be in the last age? Because technology might actually be the last age. Do you go with that?
No.
Yeah, there are more to come.
You
There are more to
really?
There are more to come.
There are more to come. No. I mean,
Because see the constant, I would say, the constant revolutions or revolutionaries we are experiencing in technology is mind-boggling. So for something else to come up and beat that is I mean, I don't know.
We never thought AI would come.
AI would come.
You see, that's the thing.
Yeah.
And AI is under technology, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Technology
it's under
keeps
tech.
giving us.
Different
If there is something else to
options.
actually slash off the needs of technology to take over, hey, Charlie,
then that thing will be mad.
Yeah, and we should as a country have a policy. Know that it's tech. So we should tackle a specific area. Maybe let's take AI.
Yeah.
We want to globally be recognized as an AI hub. Even in the sub-region, we can throw that challenge to ourselves.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to be the AI hub in the sub-region.
And then we push that agenda.
We push that agenda. Not that it's tech, so we just run with everything. Oh, cybersecurity. No. If it's cybersecurity we want, we should make it a national agenda that we are championing cybersecurity. If it is AI we want, let's make it a national. Not that we will crumple everything
together.
We
So
can't.
we should just find a space,
Yes.
build ourselves up there, champion it.
Champion it.
Charlie, that's solid.
That's champion it.
Yeah, that's
okay. I think producer has granted us few minutes.
Okay.
To trash out the last of the
last
discussion.
topic.
So
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
we thank producer in there. That's DJ Rock.
Oh, okay.
And the DJ Q.
Thank you so much, producer.
Yeah.
We are
So
grateful.
yes, I love the assertion you just made that we should find a space and then we champion there.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that becomes our strong bone. So in Africa, we know that, hey, see, cyber security, let's visit Ghana.
Let's visit Ghana.
We're AI, let's visit
Not that
Ghana.
we put everything together. No.
Where we are going to be
much results.
partially inactive. That would be bad. We are wasting the resources. So that's great. Our time is up, but then getting into the last topic for discussion. The discussion has been very intellectual this morning. I've loved it. I know our listeners are enjoying it wherever they are listening to us from. Thanks to Dennis Dati and Godwin Ayamba. Last topic is that the government has partnered with private sectors to build a cashew processing factory in the Bono Hafo, the Bono areas. Cashew. I think that Ghana, we've been lazy by just championing only cocoa as a cash crop to the economy, because we have other plantations that if we had invested so much attention to it, we could have equally gained much more revenue from them, just like we are doing with cocoa.
Yeah.
So the specialty we've given to cocoa, if now we are about to channel some of it into other plants, and for instance cashew, I think it's a great cause. But then this is what the government is saying. I'll take
so Piquet, yes, like you said, it's a great cause that as every good citizen you need to applaud and really help in pushing up this agenda. Because we all know in Ghana that, look, agriculture is our backbone.
Sure. No two ways.
There is no two ways about that. And then we can't focus solely on only one or two products or items within the agriculture sector. And so for that matter, if we are focusing on cashew as another cash crop, I think it is the right thing to do.
Okay.
Because cashew is another business that can give us more money.
Okay.
To back even the cocoa sector.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you go to someone's farm, which is a cashew farm, and you realize that, look, if all things being equal, if this person is able to get cashew products or cashew crop from the farm, you can just imagine how much the person can make.
Wow.
So there is a cause that I think we need to really champion.
Okay.
So that our agriculture wouldn't hang on just on cocoa.
Okay.
It will be balanced, cocoa, cashew, and other crops.
Okay.
Because at the end, we need all these crops to survive. We need all these crops to boost our economy.
Sure.
And look, the number of countries who need cashew, it's mind-boggling.
Wow.
It's just that sometimes we don't know or we don't value some of our product or our crops. Look, a crop like coconut.
Yeah.
Apart from the water and then the fiber, a lot of things we get or we can get out of coconut.
Okay.
So I think cashew crop is something that I really love, and I think as a country, and most importantly, the farmers in the cashew industry should stand up and hold this course, so that we can push the agenda.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Fair.
Okay, thank you once again. I mean, I do with figures, so before I start, I would want to give a background. You know that it is estimated that cashew we generate in excess of 300 million USD annually
from cashew. As a country.
Yes.
In Ghana.
Yes, with a potential of 600 million USD. So
wow.
which means
and that's without a processing factory.
Which means when we push harder, we can hit $1 billion.
Yeah. Because this is without a processing factory.
So which means
and cocoa that we brag about being our backbone, we make about 500 million from cocoa annually.
Yeah.
How much do you even need to erect a factory?
Exactly.
A cashew
factory.
How much do you need?
That we have to partner with the private sector.
Does it make sense?
Is it that maybe it is the private sector who brought the proposal? That is why government says, okay, if you have...
regardless. I mean, why should it be... I mean, we have the resource, we can do it. So why should it be that we have to partner? I mean, is it that someone in the long run is going to benefit or what?
Have a share in that.
I mean,
because we've seen how this partnership has always gone for us.
Yes,
we can take the oil partnership. How much percentage is Ghana
because let me tell you this, the Argon administration, the Akufo-Addo government, that's the same thing that they did. So this government coming with a public-private partnership that they did, this government coming in might think that whatever resources that they generate, it will go into individual pockets, so they won't pay attention. But if it is state-sponsored, I mean, everyone would benefit, so the interest will be there. So why I don't understand the reason why we as a state
always have to partnering
with the private sector. We
can actually build it on our own.
How much is it? How much does it even cost? I mean, I think with $20 million,
we should be able to
erect.
Yeah, because if we can feed Atlas with $16 million, why can't we build a factory?
And we can hit the limit. We see it's annually.
Yeah.
Annually,
Yeah.
you are generating 300 million USD, and which means, estimatively, you can hit 600 million.
Yeah.
So it means that when you push for it, you can hit double of that figure.
Easily.
So why not take it upon ourselves, or even whether it is loan, whatever.
Yeah. Then
Just-
we do it. Then we pay it off with the revenue we are making from.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, it's been a solid, interactive, educative, and intellectual conversation this morning.
Business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and